I want to welcome you all to today's teaching on the way forward for the church. The way forward for the church. What the church needs to do to be able to accomplish her commission. God designed the church for a purpose. When we look around today all over the world, we can see that the church today has failed in many areas. Despite recording thousands of members in many places, many churches having several branches, running several services in a day, flourishing in different dimensions physically, financially, we've come to see and understand that the value system in our communities, in our nations, are not affected. They still remain the same. Corruption, moral decadence, so much evil, robbery, kidnapping, sicknesses, poverty, satanic activities, rising higher every day. Despite the numerous number of churches and numerous programmed churches have been organizing, we can see that the lives of people are not being affected. The church is not affecting her generation for Christ. When we look at the church today, we understand that the church is currently operating the pulpit ministry. What do I mean by pulpit ministry? When the focus is on carrying out activities within the walls of the church, just like preaching, all the preaching is done within the walls of the church, prayers are done inside the church, music, prophecies, deliverances, miracles are all done within the church. That's what I mean by pulpit ministry. So for the church to be relevant, the pulpit must move to the nations. The pulpit must move to the environment, the communities, among the people groups. When you look at the ministry of Jesus, the ministry of Elijah, the ministry of Elisha, Peter, Paul, and the early disciples, the focus of their ministry was not the pulpit. So that means for the church to be relevant, there's going to be a pulpit shift. We are going to begin to do ministry outside the church premises. And for us to accomplish that, for us to be able to leave the four walls of the church premises, and begin to do the same thing we have been doing inside the church. Now take them to the nations. Take them to the communities. Take them to different areas where we can find people. We need to take the gospel to the military, for those in the military sector, to the mechanics, to the traders, to the politicians, those in the medical sector, those in the judiciary sector. We need to target different people groups and preach the gospel of the kingdom to them. We're talking about winning souls where the sinners are. In the bus stations, in the football fields, in the marketplaces, in the airports, in the neighborhood, house to house, in the offices, in the streets. And for us to accomplish this, the church leadership have to equip members to discover their life passions. Train and equip them. Train and mobilize them to use their life passions to minister in the various people groups where they belong to. We're saying that every believer have to discover their giftings. When you preach the gospel with your gifting, with the area of your gifting, you will see how effortless you'll be winning souls to the Lord. Believers need to understand their callings. Some are called in the area of prayer. Some are called in the area of prophecy, area of healing the sick. Some are in music, drama, film outreach. Some are called to help the aged. Some are called to excel in holding safety talks, health talks. Some are called to hold seminars in the area of HIV prevention, abortion, no sex before marriage. Some are called in the area of ministering to the poor, ministering to prostitutes, ministering to people of other religions, ministering in nightclubs. Some are called to organize centers to feed the people. Different areas. We need to discover our areas of calling. There are all avenues for soul winning. There are all avenues for soul winning. Within every believer, you have something unique God has put on you, and you need to use it to change this world. You need to use it to affect the lives of people. We need to use it to affect our generation for Christ. As we meet the various needs of people, preaching the gospel alongside, effortlessly, we will begin to bring them to the Lord. So we are simply saying that in addition to preaching the gospel, the church should focus on transforming the culture of nations. That's what we saw in Isaiah 2:2-5 and in Matthew 28:18-20. I pray that God will help us to understand this concept of pulpitship and begin to run with it. That is the way forward for the church. Thank you.